Hey guys, it's Marquita and
Lucy.
we're coming to you with our fitness tips. We started a journey how many years ago? About 2015-ish,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So we figured it was time to kind of sit down and start helping you guys out with your journey also. So we have a couple of things we're going to talk about and go from there. Each week is going to be something different. We're going to be looking for help from you guys to kind of help us out, help you along your journey. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna ask Lucy, how did you get started? And I'll answer the question also.
Okay, I got started back in 2014. I think it was 2014, 15. I was trying different things for a couple of years. Thought I was working out, doing stuff, but more or less it was just like the motions and the routine of it, not really focusing on me as a whole. I tried everything from the Atkins to the, what is the Beyonce lemonade?
Oh,
The lemonade with the cayenne pepper. I said cayenne pepper. To anything you can imagine, but none of that worked for me. Could have probably worked for you guys, but not for me. Throughout the process, I think for me, what clicked in my mind is me internalizing and focusing on myself. When I did start working out, like I said, it was just going through the motions, and I was just keeping myself busy, just moving, thinking I was actually working out, but I actually wasn't like internalizing and loving myself. So I was just going through the phases, and so once I started really focusing on me as a person and letting everything else go, from people to the past to situations and even family, I started putting myself first, and that's when it started clicking for me.
So for me, mine started about 2014, 2015-ish. I feel like basically my whole life I struggled with weight. Basically my whole life. This is probably the smallest I've ever been. I've been a yo-yo dieter, lose weight, gain weight. You know, you lose weight for your birthday. By the time your birthday's over, you gain it back. So this is my fourth year, but about 4 years ago, I challenged myself to work out for a whole year straight, and I knew if I could work out for a whole year straight, I could get it down pat. And this is going on my fourth year of working out straight. It has changed my life tremendously. I've gained so much self-love for myself. Not that I didn't love myself before, but I don't think I was showing me how much I loved me before, because as a wife and a mom, I wasn't taking out time out my day to just give back to myself. So just taking one day at a time and saying, hey, I'm going to give back to myself every day, whether it was 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or an hour. It was a priority to give back to myself and drop the weight. And like I said, this is the smallest I've ever been and the healthiest I've ever been in my life. So that's how basically it started for me, being tired of being on a yo-yo diet of losing weight, gaining weight. It's very bad for the body and the mind. So our next question is, what motivates us? So what motivates you?
Well, what motivates me now is, it's not even a motivation. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. It's Lucy. I'm addicted to working out. But no, what motivates me is now being able to just love myself and put myself first. It always goes back to that for me. And then also other people reaching out to me for help and inspiration, that motivates me. But just like I said, focusing on me, giving back to myself, making sure I'm healthy, not necessarily just the physicalness, but mental and my mind. Because there are some times when we're all like in a dark place, so we have to kind of figure out what's going on with us in our minds before we can even be happy or be loving to ourselves. So just me waking up every morning is a motivation.
So what motivates me is my family, being here for my family. I always tell people, you are the blueprint of what healthy looks like to your family whenever you're working out. So we can, I believe some diseases we don't have to have. We say, oh, well, my mom or my grandmother had diabetes or whatever else. Yeah, some people will have it, but sometimes we inherit those bad habits. So for me is changing the dynamics of my family history. I have a history of heart disease. I changed my numbers completely just from working out. So that is the motivation right there. Is if I keep on, it's going to trickle down to my family, and then they'll beat the stereotype. Well, they'll beat the risk of having heart disease just by watching me. Also, what motivates me is I feel amazing. I'm no longer on blood pressure medicine. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. So those things right there is enough to keep me motivated. And just like Lucy, I'm addicted to working out. I'm so addicted to cycling, but I'm really addicted to working out. For me, it's my me time. I know sometimes I'll say I'm tired, but for me to work out, that gives me the energy that I didn't have, and it makes me feel better about myself, because it's the one thing that I'm not doing for other people that I'm taking time out my day to give back to myself. So that's what motivates me. So what is your go-to exercise?
Oh God, my go-to exercise.
Like, what's your favorite? Like, that's my jam.
Oh, it is I don't even know what we call them. We do them in Tyron's class. It's with the bar and you go down and you plunge up. That's my favorite for now. Power cleans or whatever you call them.
You guys ignore the sound effects.
Yeah.
I live next to a track, so you may hear some stuff riding down the street.
And we are outside. The power cleans, I think that's what they're called. Believe it or not, I like burpees.
Hate burpees. Don't ever ask me to do burpees.
I like cycling because of her. She got me started. Any exercise really and truly. I don't. Those are the top three. The top three.
I only have a top one, and anybody who knows me is cycling. I fell in love with cycling. It started just from, I used to be a runner, and I ended up having knee surgery and foot surgery, and I was unable to run. I had a bike at home, and I started to ride my bike all the time. And after riding my bike outdoors, I took a cycling class. Hated it with a passion, but I ended up falling in love with it. To me, it is the best cardio ever. It will it will make you get your whole life right.
Yeah,
I think
you'll
that's
be snatched.
Yeah, I love
snatched.
cycling. To me, it's like the birthing place for anything that you're carrying. It makes you feel stronger than what you've ever felt before. Is it hard? Yes, it is, but it has amazing benefits behind it. So, I mean, to me, I'm a cycle junkie. I can't lie. I mean, there are other things that I do, but I will say cycling is my number one thing. I can do it every day, all day. So, next up is diet or no diet. What is it for you?
The diets never worked for me. Because I like to eat, I like food. This is kombucha. I wish it was a margarita, but I like margaritas. So when I go out, even if it's with friends, family, I don't necessarily want to be restricted to what I can't eat. I still want that freedom. And I always look at the fact that when I'm done with the diet, what am I going to do next time? Because I don't want to diet for the rest of my life. So I say no diet. Just be smart about what you eat, drink at certain times. Start out with portion control. I say no diet.
Yeah, I'm the same way because I was a dieter in the beginning. I was one of those people who would I would try to do a diet, but then after the diet was over, I would gain all the weight that I had lost back, and it was because I didn't teach myself how to eat. To me, I am a foodie. I love food. So this time during this journey, my thing was I wanted to teach myself how to have a relationship with food, how to have ice cream and not overindulge. Realistically, sometimes we just want to taste. Sometimes we don't want the whole thing, but just because we see it, we condition ourselves that we have to, you know, as growing up, your parents was like, you better eat everything on your plate. So as a adult, you think the same way. So for me, I don't diet. I've just basically trained myself how to portion control and eat the things that I want. And sometimes what works for me is I substitute a lot of things. Like I use mushrooms a lot for meat replacement, or but if I want a burger, I have it. Sometimes I just want a half of a burger instead of the whole. The other thing is I don't believe in saying a cheat day or a free day. To me, I call it living. and that's it, because when you say a cheat day, to me it sounds like you're doing something wrong, you know, or saying treat, that means you had to be good in order to have it, and those are just negative words for me that I try to stay away from. So what works for me may not work for someone else, but I'm the kind of person that I have to trick myself in order to make it work. So I have to play word games with myself. Oh, the other thing that works for me was I like to eat out, so I would buy containers that were like to-go containers that tricked me to say I had out to eat food. So
now, did it really trick you?
Yes, it did. Okay. It made me feel like I had something special. Like I'm a gimmick person. Yes, I got a salad from wherever. Like, girl, that salad is from the kitchen. That's where it's at. But
in a to-go container.
Yes, but for me, mentally, that's what worked for me. So you have to do what works for you. Just because Lucy is on, say, an Atkins diet or a smoothie diet, that may not work for me. I get bored, so I'm going to be like, I'm tired of doing smoothies. So you have to do what works for you.
Every diet don't work for every person. So
just find a lifestyle. Basically, how you want to live the rest of your life, that's how you should start patterning how you eat.
Right.
So last question is body positive. What does body positive mean to you?
To me, body positive is just loving your body, not comparing your body to anybody else and then kind of shaming your own body because it don't look like another person's body. Because if you do that, to me, you're never going to look at your body in a positive light, because you're going to always kind of, in a sense, wish it was somebody else's. So that goes back to, again, loving yourself and internalizing yourself, getting to the point to where you feel good about your body. I'm short, so my body is not going to ever look like Marquita.
She almost as tall as how she's sitting down.
She wrong. But no, I'm short, so my body is never going to look like a lot of people's body. I mean, I don't even have a back hardly, so my body is different. So I mean, I love me and my body for what it is, but then again, there's other people that look at me and want the same things on my body, but I'm like, our bodies are totally different. But I do embrace myself and love my body that I have on me. So that's body positive to me, is loving your own body.
Yeah, I agree with Lucy, is loving what your body looks like. As a woman, sometimes that's hard, because you'll look at somebody with a six-pack and you're like, oh, I want that six-pack. But I mean, realistically, it's like, are you going to put in the work that that person put in to get a six-pack? And two, you have to think about what your body has gone through. For me, I've had 4 pregnancies. I've had a cesarean birth with one of them. I've had a hysterectomy, and I've had fibroid surgery. So my body is not going to